All right. We are live inside the Accelerate Your Cleaning Business group. And I'm really excited to be here with you, Jamie. How are you doing?
Hey, Carrie. I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Thank you.
Well, I'm so excited to have you here. It's no secret how much I admire you and everything that you've gone through in the last, well, I've known you almost a year now, but we really started working closely together back in February. And just watching you grow has been such a privilege that I'm really excited that you said yes to this interview. Thanks so much for saying yes.
Absolutely. Likewise, I admire you and, everything that you believe in as far as business and life in general. So I want to thank you as well for having me and, inviting me into your space. You mean a lot to my growth. Absolutely.
Uh, it's absolutely my privilege. So before I get into, the regular questions, just wondering if you can tell me a bit about who you are and what you do and that sort of stuff.
Yeah. So, I guess I could say my age. I am 42, and I've lived in three different cities, throughout my life, and finally I landed in Columbus, Ohio. I'm originally from Youngstown, Ohio, and I grew up there, and we moved to St. Louis. Probably when I was mid-teens, and then eventually I landed in Columbus, and I've been here ever since. So, but yeah, I've always, worked. I kept a job, but I've always been a dreamer. When I was about 18, I started a clothing line actually, and
Oh,
we got as far as hats and shirts, and but my focus wasn't really where it should be as far as entrepreneurship. So but yeah, I've always been a dreamer. I've always been an innovator, a thinker, always trying to learn new things, new ways, but I never jumped uh, all the way into entrepreneurship, you know. But I always believed that one day I would get to the bottom of this thing and see what I'm really made of. This journey for with entrepreneurship is, as you know, it is the most challenging, I believe, of all because it requires every aspect of our existence, to really build that momentum and get the train rolling. So, but yeah, I have three children. I'm a father. My oldest is 19 and my youngest is 13. And, I love them dearly. I've always been there for them. And so, with that being said, I tried to, I tried to work, like I said, just the past position, this last position I had uh, was inspecting semis and loading them, uh, driving the fork truck. So I've always been in that sort of line of work, but I've always been dreaming, and I said one day I got to jump. I have to, you know, uh, I have to at least see, So a year and a half ago, I made that leap, and I started Grace Cleans, and the name was started um, based on my relationship, with the Lord. I really believe that, you know, grace or love and forgiveness and all those good characteristics is what uh, makes people better. You know, it's what encourages a person to grow in life. So it means a lot to me. And so, you know,
Mhm.
we started the company as Grace Cleans, me and a partner, a friend of mine, and he had to he had to drop out fairly early because the work schedule was just too much, too overwhelming to try to do both. So, um, you know, there's no love lost
Yeah,
there. You know, I understand. And so I kept going from there. And then shortly after that, I met you. So,
yeah,
um, yeah, yeah,
yeah. I remember our first meeting. I
yeah.
think of it fondly. You know, I knew that day that we needed to work together, and it's just been such a lovely connection ever since. But I don't want to talk too much about that because right now we're here to talk more about you,
Mhm,
and to get to know you and
mhm,
your journey, because the journey of a cleaning business owner, somebody starting out, either somebody just starting out or a solo cleaner or somebody struggling, is a really actually honestly impressive journey to watch people come back from that moment of should I really be doing this to success, and you're one of those people. I
mhm.
hope that somewhere along the line here I'll get to delve deeper into that, but I do have some questions to help keep me on track, because the truth of the matter is when you and I get together, these conversations get long.
Yeah.
You just always make me
Always,
very
always.
comfortable.
Yeah. Great
So,
comment.
oh, thanks, Jamie. So my first question is, I'm just wondering if you can think back to when you first started your cleaning business a year and a half ago. And if you can describe the situation and the challenges you were facing back there, and what strategies did you implement them to start your forward momentum?
Mhm. Yeah. So, you know, we started a year and a half ago. And when I first started out, you know, I knew a few things. I can't say that, you know, I didn't know anything. I knew a few things, you know, just listening to a lot of podcasts, you know, tapping in with other business owners that have become coaches and, you know, that sort of thing. So I did a lot of studying. But, you know, in me studying, I realized that the concept is very easy. And for me, I was looking for, you know, that type of company to start as something that was low startup costs, um, you know, and it's not hard to manage, at least starting out. So, um, you know, I had different ideas, excuse me, that I was, you know, entertaining at the time. And um, we kind of settled on the cleaning company. Once again, you know, you can start a cleaning company with less than $500, you know. So for me, blue collar worker, you know, it was a no brainer. Let's go for it. To be honest, I'm not really in love with any one business. You know, I'm a businessman. I love business. And so it's like, you know what, let's take a crack at it and let's go all the way in. So uh, the challenges that I seen in the beginning, um, obviously was, you know, the lack of resources. You know, even though I'm a resourceful person, I believe, you know, I just didn't have any connections. I really didn't know too many people in the industry. I didn't really have someone that I could, you know, call and ask questions about, you know, the industry. So um, in that area, you know, it was a bit of a hassle, but others issues that I seen in the beginning were capital. As you know, capital a lot of times determines, how far you go, how far is your reach, what you can offer, and so forth. So I didn't have capital, no mentorship, and also I was working full time. So, those are a few of the issues that I seen ahead of me when I started. The strategies that I kind of, some of them I stumbled upon, and others, through conversation and finally making some headway with context. I began to understand the layout um, of the industry, and I think through conversation with people that are in business in general, not just the cleaning industry, but in business general, you begin to understand the basic concepts of business and so forth. And in a lot of ways, you could plug it into any business. So the basic concepts, I begin to understand, and I begin to use that knowledge to uh, search for mentorship. And so one of the first strategies I used, and I knew it would put me ahead of the game, it would get me to my goals quicker, uh, is to find a mentor. So I began, searching the internet, seeing what I could afford, and so forth. But yeah, mentorship, coaching, it will always get you to where you're going a lot quicker. So those are a few.
Yeah, I found the same in my life as well. In fact, once I finally opened up to a coach, I've not gone without having at least two, and at sometimes three or four. Of course, I have a lot of things going on, so there's room for all those coaches. But yesterday I got a call from my Tony Robbins coach, and I had forgotten all about it. I forgot that I actually have, I think I've had 3 sessions. I have 3 more with the Tony Robbins coach. So funny because when I start out with them, I'm like, I have nothing to say. I don't know. By the end of the call, I'm blubbering and crying, and I'm like, I've got some
Yeah,
inner turmoil sorted out. Like sometimes you don't know that you need that person,
that's right.
so
Yeah,
I,
absolutely.
I really believe in it. So the next
Mhm.
question that I have for you, how are things looking now? Can you tell me about some of your current clients, and which was the most work to acquire, and which is your favorite to work for?
Mhm. So now we've crossed the 10,000, mark per month.
Woohoo!
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, thank you. And I couldn't have did it without you. Mentorship. Once again, I think it would have took me a lot longer to get here. Um, but I also can't discount, pure grit, and hustle.
Mhm.
Um, I've faced a lot of adversity, in life, and I've come to appreciate it, now, because it built the grit. Now when I get a call that somebody's quitting, or you know a issue with a client, it doesn't really affect me, like I think it would have if had I not, been through so much adversity in life. So, um, yeah, so we crossed the 10,000 mark. Um, we have 7 um, subcontractors. As you know, I believe in that model. So yeah, we have 7 subcontractors that we use on a consistent basis. We got about 8 clients right now. Yeah. So
Nice.
so yeah, we're doing fairly well. And actually, I got laid off from my job. I forgot,
Mhm.
and that was probably going to come up later in the conversation, but
Yeah, I was gonna bring it up because it's one of my favorite stories.
yeah, so I got laid off from my job about 6 months ago. So I've only been full time 6 months. And we passed the 10 grand a month. We have the 8 clients. Um, we're beginning to solidify our systems as far as marketing, customer acquisition, and um, scheduling. We have a great program for um, employee attraction, which in my case is more subcontractors. But and thank you again for helping me build that model. It's a beautiful model. It works. So I'm very rarely having to, worry about new subs. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, we're in that stage now where it's like it's time to scale. The foundation is pretty much laid. Um,
Yes,
yeah, it's time to
that's what
scale.
I love.
Yeah,
That's the thing, hey? You have
yeah,
such a solid foundation now. It's amazing. I better try not to get off course, but yes, that's the thing. Laying that foundation is so
mhm.
important, and you have done such a good job of it. I wanted to ask you, can you tell me about some recent positive changes that you've noticed in your life that you'd attribute to the growth of your cleaning business?
Yes. I've been a leader my whole life. Um, but like I said before, entrepreneurship is the ultimate test of the human capability. Specifically in leadership. So I've noticed that my leadership is beginning to grow and mature in several areas. First of all, I would say patience. Dealing with team members. I like to call them team members, but dealing with team members, you get all these different personalities and all walks of life, different upbringings, um, you name it. And so you can imagine how much we have to deal with on a day to day, dealing with so many different people. But yeah, leadership and specifically patience. Um, I've become very patient in dealing with all these different people, and not to mention clients. Dealing with them day in day out. That works on your leadership as well. You have to know how to approach all these different angles of communication and relationship. So for me, most notably is leadership. My leadership is beginning to mature, and I'm settling into the CEO seat. Which
Yeah.
we talk about a lot. So yeah,
Mhm. Yeah, I love that too.
and
I love to hear
delegation.
you. I love to hear you saying all of those things, Jamie.
Yeah, but I would be remiss if I didn't mention delegation. Delegation, I love the concept. Um, you know, in order to be a CEO, you have to have, you have to know, you have to recognize talent, and you have to obviously delegate, tasks. Um, and I'm beginning to be a lot more seasoned in that area as well. So delegation I would add as well.
Love that. That's the thing. Like for me, when it my fire was not about how many clients I could get or how much money I could get. And as you know, there was a time there where it was about struggle to survive. I had lost everything to COVID, including my home, and I was rebuilding. For me, I wanted a bigger team so that I could move people around more, so that I could see their strengths and work with their strengths instead of having to like kind of like grit through it,
Yeah.
trying to make people work for the job or make the job work for the people. Like I could, once I grew the team, then I could utilize their strengths to create this amazing quality service.
Hmm.
I'm really proud of that. And you know what? I've seen it with the online program as well.
Oh
I've
yeah.
seen that as I grow my team, I'm able to utilize their strengths to create a better environment. It's beautiful. And so for me, it's really about having the larger team in order to create a better service in both
Absolutely.
of my businesses. So
Hmm.
interesting. Delegation is so important and letting go. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I wanted to ask you if, in your recent experience, what kind of assistance or resources do you believe are a must-have for any cleaning business owner to create accelerated growth?
First and foremost, mentorship. Um, you gotta have it. You gotta have it. You know, there's nothing like having somebody that you can call to answer a question that is knocking, and you just don't know the answer. You can't. Some things you can't even search online. Some things you need a mentor for. So I would say having a mentor first and foremost. Another thing is to Oh, another thing is to study the industry. Study the industry. Um, I like to have a few different coaches, that I listen to, because one coach may specialize in this area, but another coach may shine light on a whole different aspect. So it's good to have, and even if they disagree about certain approaches, it makes you more well-rounded in your understanding, um, to hear the difference in approaches. So
You know,
study the industry. Yeah.
I think that's a really good point. It brings me back to a time that you and I were having one of our one-on-one strategy calls. And you said, Carrie, I know you don't believe in subcontractors, but I really feel that's the way I want to go. And I said to you, Jamie, it's not that I don't believe in it. I fully feel that there can be great subcontractors, there can be a great employee-based model.
Mhm.
Both models can work and both models do work, but it depends on every owner and what your vision is and how you're going to oversee it. And I said to you, my system will work for subcontractors. I just don't spend a lot of time focusing on subcontractors because that's not actually my specialty. And I'll never claim to know something I don't. Like I don't think I do
True.
anyway. I'll never I'll never say, oh, I know all about that and start coaching people to something I don't understand at all. It's not that I don't understand subcontractors, I get it. But I also know there are other people out there who get it way better than I do. And so that is their specialty and let that be up to them. Right.
Hmm.
So I remember that and once we got that out of the way, actually things really did get better, didn't they?
Yeah.
Because you really felt like I might frown upon that. And that's not what I do. You know, you've learned since then. That was very early. I think that you've learned that I strategize with
Yeah.
everybody according to their beliefs and how they want to grow their business. It's not my business. I'm here to help you take your vision and make it real.
Yeah.
So I remember that day so vividly. And you're right, having more
Yeah.
than one coach or following the market and knowing what people are saying, you can really develop an amazing product. And I think that's why you do have so much success, because it's about taking in what
Mhm.
everybody is telling you and deciding what fits for you.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
But you do need that one coach, because you do have to settle in and, I guess have sort of a home base, where you actually uh, are building your company on these perspectives or, points of view. So yeah, but once again, having those different coaches, it helps. So
Yes, I absolutely agree. Like I said, I have three or four, but for different aspects, I actually
yeah,
did recently finish out my session with my coach that helped me get into the professionalism of my online program. I had my program for a couple of years, but it wasn't as professional as I wanted it to be.
mhm,
I was going there slowly, just like cleaning business owners do, YouTubing it and doing cheap courses,
yeah,
thinking that the $500 course was going to get me what the $60,000 course would. No,
mhm.
it doesn't work that way. You really do pay for what you get.
The
But
difference.
anyway, the point is that my coach that I had for the last year really changed my life. Like
Mhm.
he has helped to set me on a course that there's no going back from, that I love. He is doing something different with his program that doesn't fit, because I'm actually one of the only service-based coaches that he works with. He usually works
Oh,
with
wow.
spiritual coaches and mindset coaches. And so I was a different, and actually that coach told me no
Oh, wow.
when I wanted to join him. And I said, no, I need to learn from you. I want to learn from you. You don't know who I am and you don't know what I want. So I laid it all out for him and he let me in the program.
Oh, wow. Hmm.
And then I was a pain in his ass for the rest of the year. But
Yeah.
you know what happened? Like,
Mhm.
he really did help me change my program. You've been with my program for half of that year, and I'm sure you see the differences. But back in March, him and I had a conversation that set me on a healing journey that
Mhm.
healed some trauma that happened to me when I was just a little girl, 4 or 5 years old. And
Mhm.
I keep thinking about it. I realized that, okay, yeah, I signed up with him because I felt he was the right coach for me and I wanted what he was offering. But I
Mhm.
feel like the universe brought me to him for something else. And that's the thing. What he did for me that day in that one conversation will, there's no value, there's no price,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
having that relationship with him, I just could never go back. So that's the thing. You really
Mhm.
got to understand that focusing with one person is going to develop a relationship that's going to stick with you. So
Right.
now we're still friends, of course, but I'm not in his program anymore. And
Mhm.
I am actually looking for another coach. I'm doing it fairly quietly
Mhm.
because they come out of the woodwork. We all know. But
Yeah.
I am watching out for that coach that is going to be like-minded and that I will be able to go to the next level with. And I'm
Absolutely.
excited about it. I'm nervous too, because I know so much more now than I did before.
Yeah.
But I've been really, really lucky with coaches. So I got burned once or twice, but I've really found some amazing coaches that I just wouldn't trade. I just wouldn't trade the experience. So
Mhm.
sorry, again, off on a tangent. Just
No, you
gosh,
you you're my
relationships.
first coach. Yeah, you're
Oh
my
yeah,
first. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sure I won't be the last, but I'll always be there with you. Like, you
Absolutely.
know, you and I talk about how we're just bonded. It's amazing, our relationship.
Mhm.
I have this relationship with most of my clients, and I actually love it. You'll hear
Yeah.
me say so often how those core values related people come into your life. Like, we're all the same people, which makes it kind of a fun program to be a part of, actually.
Mhm. Absolutely.
I'll move. I'll move on to the next question. Let me see where I am. So this is the second to last question. It is, if you were to share your recent experiences with close friends and colleagues, what standout moments or benefits would you emphasize in your story? That's an
Um,
interesting.
yeah, that's very interesting. In fact, it's so interesting. I would like for you to recite that question.
Okay, say it again, Carrie. Say it again.
Yeah.
So, if you wanted to share a recent experience with a close friend or colleague, what standout moments would you emphasize?
Mhm. Wow. Recent.
Yeah, I guess
So
in the last year,
mhm,
maybe.
mhm. Just in business in general. Yeah.
I think, I think when I came up with this question, here's what I was thinking. You
Mhm,
have been through such a transformation. I know
mhm,
that it's in your entire life. Like I know that you have transformed your entire life. But I
mhm.
know in the last year you've really changed. Like when I look back at the pictures from the first day I met you to now, the difference in the man standing in front of me is unbelievable. And the similarities are very amazing too. So I guess I'm just looking for like, if you were to tell, if somebody was say, sum up the last year of your life
Oh
in a
wow,
couple of sentences, what would you
man.
say? I know it's deep, right?
Yeah.
Maybe
So
they should pay me to do this.
that's a good one. Very good. So I would say, Carrie, I would say, um, you'll never know unless you try. You'll never know what you can become. You know, God has made humans with such amazing technology, that we can literally transform. Um, your mind can learn new things. You know, you can develop strength that you never knew you had. You know, and that's just what I would say is that you can become and do and have everything that you're dreaming about, you know, that you hear other people talk about. You literally can do it if only you believe. But the key word is only, right? And I'm gonna go on a tangent for this one. The
Yeah, I'm
key
gonna let
word,
you.
the key word is only believe. See, you can't doubt and believe and expect to achieve. That rhymes. I like it. But you can't do both and expect to end up in a place of success. Success is for those who believe, those who trust, those who develop confidence, those who weather storms, you know. So I hope people are listening, that develop your mind, develop your strength, mental strength, develop your spirit to be able to withstand a lot. And only then can we climb these heights of success. You know, the past year has just been nothing but growth, nothing but new doors, nothing but opportunities, nothing but new people, new connections. Um, I come from poverty, I come from poverty. And, you know, I'm making it out. I'm making it out, so it's beautiful over here. It's beautiful on this side. Um, yeah, it's just been growth, a lot of growth.
Yeah, I'm a little emotional right now. You you have this way of really getting people's like getting to our soul and speaking to our soul, you know.
Mhm.
That was just beautiful. Thank you so much for that.
You're
That was
welcome.
just amazing. It's
You're
not very
welcome.
often you catch me speechless, right? So you should put a mark on the wall for sure. So here's the last question that I have for you personally, and then we'll see if anybody in the audience has any questions. And then we'll see where the conversation goes. But we'll finish this out with what advice would you give anyone that is starting out, struggling, or wanting to grow their cleaning business right now?
Um, the advice I would give people is, um, it's all perspective. It's all perspective. How do you see you know, getting a call that somebody's quitting. How do you see it? The human mind doesn't know whether it's negative or positive. We decide that. You see, the human mind doesn't know the difference, right? So everything is perspective. It's not what happens to you, it's how you respond. You know, how do you view starting at zero and a million is in the future? How do you view that? Do you view it as taking a lifetime, or do you view it as just a dash, you know? That dash mark in between letters, you determine, you know, how wide or short it is, right? So it's all mindset. Everything that you want is within you.
Mm.
And you have to develop that in order to carry you to where you want to go. So I would tell people, learn, develop strength, timidity, you know, tenacity, grit, um, keep learning, block out fear, anything that has to do with fear, doubt, anxiety. Stretch yourself to do the things that you don't want to do, right? Going before people and handing out flyers, I still do it. And in today's world, nobody's handing out flyers. But I
Mhm.
found that the potential clients that I'm meeting and talking to and smiling and, you know, conversating with about my company, those are going to become uh, my clients because I stepped out and did what I didn't want to do. And I found something beautiful at the end of that, you know, as a result, because I'm not a people, like I'm not considered, you know,
Yeah,
a
you are though.
people
You
person, but
are.
you know, but um, I faced that fear and I conquered it. So now I don't care who it is, if it's the president, I will stand in front of him, shake his hand, and tell him about my company and what we can provide for them. And so,
Mm.
yeah, that's my advice. Step up, fight fear, fight the fear, you know, and just build the momentum. Once you build the momentum, it's all about momentum. When you build the momentum, it's almost like the universe comes to your aid. The universe wants to assist you in your success. You know, God has put the elements um, at our disposal. Like we literally rule over the elements. Think about that. We rule over it, but it's based upon certain principles. You know, so follow the principles of success. You know, get you a mentor. You know, keep learning and just do what you don't want to do. Everything that you don't want to do, if you do that, you'll make it. You'll make it.
Yes, I agree. If there's
Yeah.
something that if there's something that I feel a little bit of fear about or apprehension about, I'd go for it
Yeah.
because I feel that the worst thing that could happen is it doesn't work out. But for me, the actual worst thing could happen was always wondering. So
Wow.
Um, that's way. Hey, so I honestly, I can't talk about you. I can't. Anytime that I think about you, the first thing that happens to me is that day. And I'm sorry, I know I bring it up so often. I know, but I swear I'm going to tell this story till the day I die because I will never forget all of the emotions that ran through you in that moment. So you know the moment I'm talking
Yeah,
about,
yeah,
right?
yeah. When I came into the program, yeah. I still
I was
remember that
thinking,
day. I wanted
yeah.
it bad. I wanted it
Mhm.
seriously because I knew I needed it. And I knew that I could trust you. I knew you wouldn't try to take advantage of me or none of that. So yeah,
But
I was
actually,
excited and
I
still am. Still am.
yeah, I know. I know. Yeah, that was a good day for me too. I was really excited about that too. But actually, I was thinking about the day that you came to the call, all sad and upset because you said you were getting laid off.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Oh man.
That
Yeah,
day you said, I've got some bad news for you. And
yeah.
I said, oh, what is that? And you said, I just found out I'm getting laid off. And I said, that's awesome. Yay.
Yeah. Yeah. You did. You laughed. I was like, what is wrong with her? But yeah, when I thought about it, now I'm gonna be honest with you, Gary. When they first told me, I don't know, I don't know why, but I think it was just the personal development. Um, I
Mhm.
wasn't mad, you know. I was a little concerned, but I wasn't mad and I wasn't afraid. But I was concerned, you know. Um,
Mhm.
but that's about it. Like I wasn't the way I would have been years ago. And you know how life is. Sometimes you just wake up and you realize, wow, I'm different, you know?
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
Yeah.
I was concerned for sure. When we talked, I didn't, because the main thing that I didn't want to happen was hurt the seed of the business I just
Mhm.
planted, you know.
Mhm.
Um,
Yes,
so yeah, because
it
that's my way
was
out, you know.
right.
Yeah,
Mhm.
business is
Yeah, it
my way
was.
out.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was so fresh. Your business was so fresh. I think you were only in the program a few weeks at that time. And my thought
Yeah.
was, I could go down this road with him and say, oh, I'm so sorry. I hate to hear that. But I already knew that you were going to be a success. In fact, anybody who is in this program, I already know they will be a success. I don't bring people into the program if I think they can't handle it or if they can't do it. Um,
Right.
so so I knew already that you would be successful. I wasn't worried about your job. But when I got off that call, I said to my husband, I didn't give him any time to process the how will I pay my bills thing. I just flew right into, okay,
Yeah.
here's what we're gonna do. This is yay, you've got more time on your hands now. You can build your business.
Right. Yeah.
And it was easier to motivate you in that moment than we actually do have a client right now who hates her job.
Hmm.
She's been with us for 2.5 months, maybe 3 months now, and she's sitting around the $6,000 month mark in increased revenues. So she's not to 10K yet, and she wants to be at 10K before she quits her job.
Yeah.
And she just said to me the other day, she said, I just hate it. I just want to leave my job. And I said, it's really hard for me right now because I understand that feeling of having that paycheck. I
Hmm.
feel like if you were to quit your job, you could put all of your efforts into this and you could get to that $10,000 pretty quickly. From 6 to 10 is really actually a walk in the park, just a
It
matter of
is.
time, really. It's the first
It is.
6,000 that's hard.
Yeah.
And the thing is if she came to me and said, I quit my job, I would have said, yay, this is fantastic. Let's get to work. but she's wanting me to say you should quit your job, and I just can't make that choice for anybody, right?
That's right. That's smart.
So
That's smart.
yeah.
I feel that.
Well, it's not my journey. I'm only here to advise, right? So
Right.
yeah, but that was a good day, and I think it really, I think it was really, I think that was the magic. I think that was the day that your business took off, was the day that you realized you were going to be laid off. I think you had 2 weeks, 2 weeks to prepare, and that's what we did.
Yep.
We got
We
on
had,
those calls.
yeah, we got on the calls, and immediately, uh, it's just something, if I had to pick one word for this whole year, right? Like, what is my favorite word? I would have to say momentum. I'm in love with that word right now, momentum, because, once you get a little bit of traction, the worst thing you can do is slow down and take a break. You know, it's something spiritual about entrepreneurship and business in general. You know what I mean? Where it's this momentum that builds. It's almost like everybody knows you're coming, you know, and the momentum was building. And then when I lost my job, and now looking back, I know that God he wanted that. Literally, he wanted that. So, I can divert all my attention to the business. So, it was the best thing that ever happened to me, for real.
That's amazing. Well, we are coming up on an hour. You know what they say that you should never do these lives this long, but I just don't care. We're not here to do what everybody tells us to do. This is our time to have some fun. And I
That's
really
right.
appreciate that you spent this time here.
Thank you.
I know I always feel inspired when I talk to you. So I think everybody's so lucky to be able to hear your words and hear your inspiration. I wanted to say congratulations for where you've come so far. And of
Thank
course, you have so much more ahead of you. I'm really excited for you. And
Yeah,
yeah, just thank you, Jamie. Thank you so much.
absolutely. Thank you. I couldn't have got it done, without you and Peter, the whole team, man, those days where I need a question answered, I've even gotten Peter on the phone,
Yeah.
plenty of times. And yeah, I want to thank you guys both. I couldn't have done it without you, really. Yeah, it would have took longer. Um, so yeah, thank you. And I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be a part of the program, and whoever I can help, I'm for it. So thank you.
You're absolutely welcome. It has been our privilege. It's our job, but honestly, nobody that I work with is just a job to me. This fulfills my soul to be able to see people succeed and help people succeed. So there is no thanks required, but I will say you're welcome. It's been absolutely amazing. We're not done working together, just in case everybody thinks this
Yeah,
is
for
a
sure.
farewell. It's not. It's not a
Yeah,
farewell, but yeah, it's a little bit of love between us. I, I love you.
I love you too.
I
I
do.
love you. Absolutely. Yeah.
So I am going to close off the live now. I had asked for questions and didn't get any, so I'm going to close off the live now, and then we'll just be in the main Zoom room here with the other CEO master plan clients. We'll see if they have any questions for us, and then we'll end it for the day. Bye,
Okay.
everybody in Facebook. How do I do this so that
Peace.
you can see what I'm
Peace.
doing? Thank you all for being here. And I believe that this live will be here for 30 days. So everybody can still watch. Yeah,
Cool.
let me see
Cool.
how to stop. Let me see. Ah, I did it. Now it's just us. That
That
that was really
was
fun.
cool. Yeah, it
I
was.
love it.
Yeah.
Misha is here and Rashid is here. Love to see
Hi,
you guys here. Thanks. Want to talk at all, or I'm like right on? I can be myself. I just undid my button and now now my
yeah, let me
lemonade.
drink some water.
Mm. So that was really amazing. You know,
You did a
another thing
great
that
job.
we, oh, thanks. It was all you. Um, Another thing that we're thinking about doing, we are just talking about on the other day, is putting together. We're looking for ways to celebrate. So celebrating the first 10K, we didn't get a big celebration for you, but we want to get better at that. So we're thinking about for the end of the 6 months, um, we're going to have like this video montage that shows pictures from when you started through the course of the journey, because
Yeah.
it is amazing. Now, I remember when I was in the coaching program for my cleaning business. When I first went into the first day in the call, I saw this woman on there. She had her makeup done and her nails were done. Her hair looked great. And I was like, "Oh, she's a cleaning business owner and she looks like that. How can you be like that?" And I was just like, wow, I want to be like her. And then I stopped cleaning and then I started going to the salon. I don't go often. I go like once every 6 months, but that's what I need. I need a haircut once every 6 months and I need my nails done once a month. Um,
Yeah.
the When I look back at those pictures, I'm just like, wow, like holy, I've actually reduced the look of my age. I look more like 50 then than I do now, I think. So it happens in those 6 months. So
Yeah.
that's going to
Yeah.
be fun.
Yep.
So unfortunately, I do have another meeting in 2 minutes. So I am going to have to let you go.
Yep.
But
It's all good.
thanks again for being here. We're going to have it edited and it will be on YouTube. And I'm so glad that you have your Jamie at gracecleans.com in the title. That's genius.
Mhm.
Also, send me your links to your website and I'll make sure that he puts a share link on there. So if anybody out there is looking for a cleaner, they can click on your link and find you.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Yep.
Okay. Thank you all. See
All
you
right.
very
Thank
soon.
you. All right.
Bye.
Thanks, Jerry. Bye-bye.